Hit the button, dude. Hit the button, man. Just hit that fucking button there, buddy. Just hit that fucking button there. Put it right there. We live?
Yeah, we're live. Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me is Jamie, and this is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. What's going on, Jamie?
You know, I think we're going to start doing some more short tracks after that debacle yesterday.
As in, like, not NASCAR short tracks?
Yeah, I'm about fed up with NASCAR.
I'm ready for a new sanctioning body. Can we move the SRX sanctioning body into NASCAR sanctioning? Let's just swap. The Francis take SRX and let Tony and Dale Jr. can run NASCAR.
Yeah, they can combine SRX with, what is it, cars?
Dirty Mo Media.
But doesn't he own cars?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't
no,
really
I don't think he owns them, but
they kind of cater to him.
The Cars Tour?
Yeah.
The Dale Jr. Cars Tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could bring them in, you can bring SRX up, or you just put Tony and Dale in NASCAR spot and say, here you go, run it. And we'll put Steve Phelps. We'll put him over.
Now, Michael Phelps might be better. Let's switch them.
Let's swap them out.
Let's switch them. Let's trade in the swimmer for the businessman. Maybe we could get rid of the motorsports mafia we got running down in Daytona.
The France family.
The France.
Don Corleone, France.
Yeah. You know, they made Denny kiss the ring. He's calmed down a little bit.
You know it.
Uh-huh.
Denny, kiss the ring, son.
We're going to get rid of the charter system just because you're an a-hole, Denny.
You better kiss the ring, Denny.
And all of a sudden, he's like, well, seems like they're making progress.
And Denny's like, Steve Phelps, that's the leader we need.
Uh-huh. Those people are richer than Michael Jordan. Damn it.
You think they are?
Yes, I think so.
Phelps or the Francis? I think
the Francis. I think the Francis. Yeah, probably. I think if you did an IPO and sold NASCAR, the Francis would walk away with $10 billion.
10 billion?
10 billion. Don't forget it includes all that real estate with half the tracks they own.
True. And IMSA.
Uh-huh.
Everything.
Yep.
Why don't they just sell the NASCAR, that portion off? Like NASCAR Xfinity trucks. Sell
Keep
that
the tracks.
Why not?
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Lock them in for a 10-year deal so they have to race on their tracks?
Oh, I'm sure something stupid like that would happen. I mean, it's kind of what we get out of NASCAR.
Would it be easier just to do a brand new governing body?
Yeah.
Remember, before NASCAR, it was
so you're saying just make it a publicly traded company.
Yeah. Then they have to be a little more transparent, at least with what they tell their shareholders and investors.
Yeah. And that's their problem. They're not transparent.
They're not.
Hell, they don't even talk half the time.
I mean, let's talk about the owners' meeting they had where Jeff Gordon walked out and said, Hendrick Motorsports is not making any money. We lose money on racing. What the hell, dude? We always assumed they were top dogs. Does that mean Gibbs isn't making any money?
Well, if Rick Hendrick's not making money off the team, Gibbs isn't. There's no way Stuart Haas is. There's no way.
I mean,
there's no way Richard Childress is breaking even.
Rick Hendricks owns a shit ton of automotive dealerships, probably 10 of them in Atlanta.
Well, that's where he makes his money.
So you would think, though, as a businessman, he'd go, crap, we're not making money with this racing team.
Well, after you pay all your employees.
And what was NASCAR's answer? Lay off more people.
Yeah. Restructure.
That's why we came up with this great, awesome new generation car.
Yeah, the single source parts that I'm going to be hard pressed to believe that NASCAR doesn't have ownership in the single source parts people that are selling the parts to NASCAR.
Yeah, they'll probably get a markup, or as
10% kickback.
Many businesses call it, rebates, which is just code for kickbacks.
Yeah. It's like the
rebate means you don't go to jail for doing it.
Well, it's like we call it now. It's name, image, and likeness in college football, the NIL agreement.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing new Now they're doing all the bribing to the players publicly instead of behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I liked it better behind closed doors. I don't want to know.
Well, now we can have a bidding war. Did you know?
Yeah, but these are kids. We don't need to have a bidding war in college football.
They need to get paid. Just let them get paid. Whatever. Biden's buying off all the kids by forgiving their student loans.
He ain't forgive it. He's just transferred it.
Yeah, to us, the taxpayers.
I've got to pay I have to now pay my student loans and everybody else's. I don't want to pay mine, but I took out the loan. That was me being an idiot. And now I got to pay it back. It is what it is.
But now you got a high-paying, high-power position in corporate America because you got a college degree.
And I'm a podcaster, so
which we're kind of like Hendrick Motorsports. We don't make any money.
We're not making any money either.
No, what the hell?
How do we get in on this? Where do we get our cut of the TV package deal next year or in 2024?
Go and do a deep dive. How many podcasters that cover NASCAR are unaffiliated? Motor Mouse, that's NBC.
Well, you got us. We're unaffiliated.
If you're with PRN, MRN, and you do a podcast, guess what? You're affiliated.
They're tied to NASCAR and SMI.
If you work for NBC or Fox, guess what?
You're affiliated.
Affiliated.
Even Dale Jr.
Affiliated.
Dirty Mo Media.
Hey, what about
Door bumper clear?
What about the weird Jeff Burton thing? How is he the conduit between the drivers and NASCAR, and he works for NBC?
He's an affiliate. I don't know.
So is anybody covering NASCAR independent anymore? Because, they laid off what was the guy's name that did the Atlanta Constitution? He covered nothing but NASCAR. He's gone.
I have no idea.
Did he die?
Who was it?
I don't remember because he's been gone for 20 freaking years.
Oh, well, that's why I don't remember.
I'm
only 38. You think I remember the guy at 18 who was covering NASCAR?
I don't know. I don't remember him. I used to read it. I don't remember him anymore.
I think that's the problem, though, is you've got Jeff Gluck and those guys on the teardown. They're not tied to NASCAR. They're not an affiliate of NASCAR. They don't work for NASCAR.
Who does Jeff Gluck work for?
The Athletic.
Oh, yeah. He keeps sending out tweets where you have to subscribe to read them.
Well, that's how he makes his money.
Well, let's start sending out tweets.
If you do something good.
Patreon.
I don't know. If I'm doing something good, I'm going to charge people for it.
Yeah, we make a penny a listen.
Heck yeah.
We're rolling in it, dog.
At this rate, we'll be billionaires like the France family in 42,000 years?
We're like gin and juicing it, cruising in our lowrider, dog.
That's funny you say gin and juice because I was thinking like next gen. The next gen car is also I need another gin just to stomach watching it. You have to get trashed on gin.
So what did you think of the race yesterday? Hold it. I got one more thing to say.
They raced yesterday?
On the owner meeting, I did not know this. Did you know you have to pay to sell your products at the race from a hauler?
Yes, you have to rent that spot. Because I saw it on Twitter last week where Brad Keselowski, a fan said, Brad, why don't you have a trailer here of your own? Why are you joined up with the Ford trailers or whatever? Because we saw it at the track.
Yeah.
There's no Keselowski Motorsports.
There used to be tons of trailers. What happened?
Well, Brad said...
Because they got to pay for it?
That's what he said. If NASCAR or if SMI didn't charge so much to bring the haulers, I'd bring it to every track.
So what they ought to do is...
SMI let him bring it for free, and he actually brought them this weekend.
See...
That played out on Twitter.
Do we need to talk about Marcus about breaking away and starting a new... Because his dad...
He's got half the tracks.
His dad used to compete with NASCAR.
Well, if Marcus did that, he wouldn't have a super speedway. Because Talladega and...
He's got Atlanta.
That's true, we do. And we have Texas that we could make another... Because, if you didn't have Daytona and Talladega, you could handle an Atlanta and a Texas super speedway configuration. Although they keep saying the older Atlanta gets, the more it's going to change, right?
And what about Road Atlanta? That's not owned by SMI or NASCAR, is it?
Well, you got to get rid of this car.
Or is it? I don't know.
You have to get rid of this car.
Well, I got a solution for the car.
I have one too.
1,000 horsepower, every track. Let it be the driver that decides whether he spins out and hits the wall or if he works the throttle and the brake properly and wins the damn race.
Let it rip, tatership.
Hells to the yeahs.
So I say we take this next gen car, we park them all in the infield at Texas Motor Speedway and
Monster trucks.
Light them on fire. We have a big bonfire. And then if it spreads and the whole track burns down, that's okay too.
Let's bring the grave digger. I love the grave digger.
We take the Xfinity cars. You run the same exact body. Xfinity and Cup is the same body. The only difference is one car has
1,000 horsepower.
Yep, one car has 650, one car has 1,000.
And you know what? If you can't fix the transmission to run a short track, run an automatic.
Yeah, why not?
95% of America drives an automatic, or 99%.
I don't care how big the rims are.
Give
me a tire that lasts.
Put some damn paddle shifters under the steering wheel. Let them drive that way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Let's just give me a good race car again.
Give me a good race.
Please. I don't know. This has been the worst playoff in the history of the NASCAR playoffs ever.
So secretly, does Biden and Trump run NASCAR? Are the Frances turn over?
I mean, I could see
management to Biden and Trump.
Well, who's their speaker then? So who's the press secretary?
That's Phelps.
Phelps is the Jean-Claude Van Damme, whatever. Jean-Pierre, Jacques, what's her name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the karate guy. Did that sound manly?
I used to watch a lot.
Or did it sound like a weasel getting raped by an alligator?
Have you actually heard that?
No, I haven't.
That sounds like a Moon-eyed people.
That sounds like a National Geographic special.
Papua New Guinea.
Hey, you know what? We could have those kind of battle royales at the tracks after we get a new managing body. We can have weasels versus alligators.
Wouldn't it be funny to watch like Jeff Gordon and Steve Phelps have like a fight?
Yeah.
Put them in those fake sumo outfits, the big fat sumo outfit things, the balloons, and put them in a wrestling ring and say, go at it.
Did you notice? I mean, I saw the interview of Phelps pre-race.
You know, he has not made himself available to the media. He's just done that little NBC pre-race interview.
Did you notice that he's not the kind of guy that's really a fan of NASCAR? He's the guy that's sitting there at the Porsche Club of America with 3 polo shirts, pastel colors, and the collar up with his deck shoes.
So I did notice listening to him talk that it didn't really jive with the fan base, right? But that's cool, whatever. He's supposed to be behind the scenes, the businessman, right? Then, who was it, the lady who gave the prayer, the invocation? Was that somebody from The View?
Might have been. I don't know.
Okay. Do you know your fan base? I'm just saying. The majority of your fan base probably don't watch The View.
I think that's the problem. I mean, even Brian France was too preppy and too removed from who goes to races.
Well, I think Brian France at least was buying his meth from race fans.
Yeah.
So
Jeremy Mayfield.
Yeah, I mean,
and then Mayfield gave him some baking soda, and he got pissed off and suspended him. That ain't meth.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah,
they had
I think so.
Little meth vendetta.
That's what I think.
I'm surprised Jeremy Mayfield hasn't ended up on that podcast, Small Town Murder.
Hey, we could bring Jeremy Mayfield back to the new sanctioning body.
Ooh, make him the drug tester.
How many tracks does Penske own? We own Indianapolis.
There we go. We just race there every week.
Don't you think 1,000 horsepower?
Hey, what about across the street? I wonder if he owns that.
Probably. The little track where they did Xfinity? No, truck race.
Yeah, which is a great track. So if you had the Xfinity car with 1,000 horsepower on that track, that'd be awesome.
What about Gateway 1,000 horsepower?
What if we run 2 laps around 285 with 1,000
Just
horsepower?
shut it down?
Yeah. You got 1,000 horsepower. Go.
Blimps and helicopters. Have the blimps quit. Where's the Goodyear blimp?
We don't have to shut it down. I mean, it'll be just like a normal Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, you've driven on 285.
Yeah.
Some people, the speeds will range from 55 to 105.
Yeah.
It's
just
insane.
let it go.
Like, let it rip.
Yeah.
So we just throw 38 cars out and say, go.
Yeah.
2 laps.
Mm-hmm. What would it take them, an hour? Perfect to package for television.
Yeah, 2-hour race, an hour a lap maybe.
So I was going
Depending
down
on
some
traffic.
rabbit holes. NBC's the network that might let the contract go for NASCAR.
Really?
Yeah.
So who would take it? ESPN and Fox?
CBS.
CBS? Where's Dale Jr. go?
I would think.
So rumor has it there's a streaming service coming too.
Well, I would prefer a streaming service.
Yeah, but I was also reading something. I think it was Pete Pistone was saying on Twitter that if they do a streaming service, they'll probably stream like practice and qualifying and then have the main events on regular broadcast TV.
Do you think that's really Pete's name? Pete Pistone?
Pete Pistone.
Sounds porno. That's his porno name. What's his real name?
Pete Pistoff.
Pistol Pete?
If he was Russian, would it be Pete Pistoff?
Russia's got issues. Maybe we could use some tracks over there.
You think Putin would let us race there?
Putin is kind of hurting right now. He's getting his ass handed to him by a little country the size of Georgia. And I don't mean Georgia, the country in Europe. I mean Georgia, United States. They're just kicking his ass.
They blowed the bridge up.
Uh-huh.
Did it ever say it was them?
No. Was that a suicide bomber?
It could have been Putin doing it himself just for attention.
Yeah. You can use the nuclear excuse.
You never know what them wackadoodles are going to do.
No, you never know. Because, Denny Hamlin, he's kind of like Putin.
I think NASCAR is kind of like Putin. They hit Kevin Harvick after Talladega because he was being too vocal.
Oh, no.
About Happy's Crappy's parts.
It was random.
Yeah, they randomly picked the guy who made a T-shirt calling them
Don't forget,
crap.
Truex got randomly chose too. If that's the case, you and I should win the lottery tonight.
No doubt.
I don't know if they draw any numbers tonight, but...
Yeah, I mean, even if it was random.
One, I could believe random.
Yeah,
2, no.
If you're the guy and what do they have, like a lottery ball machine with everybody's car number? If you pull out a 4,
that would be awesome,
19,
dude.
That's really what they should do.
Beginning of the race, do
it after. Do it. Heck, do it at the end of stage 2. Have a lottery drawing on pit road.
Who we're gonna inspect?
You pull out 2 balls. Whatever 2 numbers come out, that's who goes back.
And then you got one stage where you can take your cheating parts off.
Dude, you can sell.
That would be so awesome.
NASCAR could sell sponsorship to the drawing of the random picks.
The Georgia Lottery post-race inspection.
I mean, it would actually. I think we're on to something here. I think we have fixed the R&D transparency problems. All right, Michael Phelps, we got an answer for you.
So, Steve Phelps, could you just wear blue jeans and New Balances with your preppy shirt?
He
didn't even wear pink.
That's like the #1 dad outfit.
It was cancer. It was freaking Cancer Day, Breast Cancer Day. And everybody on the stage with him was wearing pink. Somehow, he didn't get the memo. Does he not care about breast cancer?
Oh, he's that.
How many people in the stands have been a victim of breast cancer?
You have a statistic on this?
No, but as we know,
law of averages.
The law of averages, someone has. And did he show he didn't care?
Based on your theory of law of averages, there's probably 2 child molesters that race in every race every weekend.
No, there's only 36 drivers.
38, right?
I don't know.
Enough.
That's not enough.
How many? What'd you say? Every 1 out of 24 people?
That was like 1 out of 2,500. There's one watching the race.
I
Hey,
feel
little
better.
kid, you want a little teeny car, a 124?
I was basing it off 1 out of 24, so like I can't even go to the grocery store without holding my
Well,
kids
based
close.
on the law of averages, if you get every person employed and affiliated with NASCAR, as we know, that's pretty much everyone but us.
Yeah.
There's probably one child molester.
Hey, Left Turn Cult. They're not affiliated with NASCAR.
Are they not?
No.
Are you sure?
No. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, maybe Left Turn Cult and Race Car Spelled Backwards should bid on the next TV package.
That would actually be a good idea. We could do half the season.
We could take all the pennies we've raised from our listeners and apply it to the down payment.
Yep.
Why not?
$37. We'll buy NASCAR right now. No questions asked. We've got it. How much money do you got in your pocket? I got a highlighter and a stapler I'll throw in on this deal, and a champagne apple and honey candle.
Well, you know, we do have our first in podcast ad.
Which one's that?
Bushwhacker Brewery. Didn't you know that?
No.
Bushwhacker is going to sponsor us. It'll be next week.
Really?
Yeah.
When are we starting the ad?
We'll have to, they're going to send us notes.
Is that Bushwhacker down there, down by you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Downtown.
Yeah, I know where you're at now.
Yeah, one of those little microbreweries, Bushwhacker.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have to pay to put the number 18 somewhere on the can?
Why would you put 18 on it?
Bushwhacker. Or would it be Kirkwhacker?
Well, Bush will be in the 8 next year.
Isn't Bushwhacker a derogatory term for people that hunt and just shoot any movement and end up hitting their best buddy who climbed down the tree?
I was listening to this comedian one time. He was talking about asking everybody in the audience, he's like, do y'all hunt around here? And everybody was cheering. He said, what do y'all use to kill a deer? And people screaming, gun, bow. Some guy goes, car.
Why not? Sounds like my neighborhood.
Could you imagine just sitting in the bushes in your car waiting? Start it up real slow now. You want to scare the deer off.
Well, you know, you can shine hogs in Georgia. You can hunt them at night with a spotlight.
Turn your brights on as you're about to run them over.
Blast them, dude, because hogs are a pest.
Yeah, but if you get the smaller ones, they're pretty good eating.
Back in my younger days, like 5 years ago,
My dad and my son usually get one every year.
a hog.
Yeah. You ran with spears?
Yeah, cut the dogs loose and then gig them, dude.
I can just see you and your brothers running through the field with spears.
Hogs are very dangerous.
Did y'all like having like a chant y'all would scream as you ran through the woods like, la 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 la?
Kind of like going back to Lords of the Flies, dude.
I was thinking even farther back to like when Jesus was here.
You think he did that?
No, but I imagine there's people back then running around with spears.
See, back to...
I'm just saying in that era, not at Jesus's group, but in that
think
era.
about Jesus. I mean, as we know, he was a way cool dude.
Yeah, but I don't think
But he was a badass wizard, too. What about that dude that came out going... He was like an auctioneer from Georgia. But Jesus, like, someone said, Jesus, that dude's full of demons. And he said, he said, check out that herd of hogs up there on the cliff. And they're like, yeah, what about it? He said, I'm going to shoot all them demons. Because the demon said, no, give us a chance, Jesus. Give us a chance. He goes, I give you a chance. And he cast them into the pigs. So not only was he a way cool dude, he was one hell of a wizard.
So that wasn't magic, though. It wasn't a magic trick. Magic trick implies a trick of the mind.
If you did it, we'd call it magic.
If I did it, you'd probably have me.
If you walked on water, we'd call it magic.
If I did it, you'd have me on Discovery Channel with my own TV show.
We'd take it to Vegas, dog. Bellagio, walking on water.
Who was the magician who worked in Vegas? Not David Copperhead, the other guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
Did you ever watch that show he did?
Yeah, for a little bit. After a while, it got redundant.
Yeah, because it was the same thing over and over.
Kind of like our races, a little redundant.
Yeah.
Chris Angel's a wackadoodle.
He is a wackadoodle.
but he's not the son of God.
That's a fact. That is a fact. All right. On the Jeff Gluck poll, was the Roval a good race? 18% of the people voted have said yes, and 82% have said no. On a scale of a 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 1, and that's because I don't want to fall into the 0-star trap. But I almost fell into the 0-star trap, but I did go with a 1.
I wish I could give it a 0.
If I could, I would.
But I can't. I kept putting 0 down, and Brad kept smacking me. He said, bitch, put a number.
I said, put a number before I steal you, rabbit.
Don't steal me, rabbit, and shoot me dead. So I give it a 1 because dude, what was, that was like a piece of newspaper laying in the road when we're driving somewhere.
They had already driven over this cardboard. Like
they just wanted to make it. They're like, wow, it's kind of a boring race, single file. Let's make it exciting.
That's exactly what it was. They're like, oh no, the Jeff Gluck poll is really going to look bad if we don't do something quick. Oh no, look, a shoebox. It's on the track. Throw out a caution.
I put on my notes. The reason I gave it a 1. Boring. NASCAR.
Please.
Let's go over what the car is good in. I mean, let's think about it.
The list is shorter.
I enjoyed the first race in Atlanta. Didn't go to the second one. Watched it on TV. It wasn't as good. Fontana. Made Fontana better. What else has it made better?
Let's see. Where's my schedule at? Like, I was looking at the schedule for next season. So we got the Clash at the Coliseum, which that wasn't a bad race. I enjoyed it. Wasn't great, but we'll say it wasn't bad. But we don't get a good race until Auto Club, and then we get a good one in Vegas. Then Atlanta, and Atlanta's up in the air. Not everybody likes Atlanta, according to the polls, but after March 19th at Atlanta, we don't get another good race until May 7th at Kansas. And then we have North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race is going to be awesome regardless. I don't think it'll be an exciting race, but it's just to be back at Wilkesboro will be great. Then we got the Coke 600 at Charlotte will be a great race. And then we have nothing good till we get to Nashville Superspeedway, June 25th. Then Atlanta, July 9th. Then Kansas on September 10th. And Las Vegas, October 15th. Homestead, October 22nd.
Vegas was okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Car.
Depending on if you like Atlanta or not. If you like Atlanta, you have 10 races out of 36 to look forward to next season. If you don't like Atlanta, you have 8 out of 36 to look forward to. If I only had 8 races to look forward to next year, I don't know that I would waste my time on those 8.
Maybe we should start covering F1 and Indy next year.
Like we said, maybe Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart should run NASCAR. You can leave Steve-O in there. Steve Phelps. You can leave O'Donnell. Heck, I don't care. But put somebody like Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon.
Why can't they give a charter like they have, make it permanent, regardless, and give them a cut of the TV?
The Cup teams should be able to.
Baseball, basketball, football, they buy and sell and trade teams all the time.
They should be able to run a team off the money NASCAR gives them. They should be able to pay their driver and pay their employees off what NASCAR
Isn't that what F1 does?
Just a basic. Like Rick Ware Racing should be able to be run 100% off of NASCAR money. Now, Hendrick Motorsports should be able to run each team off NASCAR money. But to go to that next level, that's where your sponsorship money comes in at. So your profitability is coming off race wins and sponsorship and product sales.
Yeah.
That's all profitability. You shouldn't depend on sponsorship to pay your driver. What kind of business model is that?
If you really think about it, charge a tax on your sponsor.
Yeah.
Since the Frances are the motorsports mafia, pay it to them. Give them a taste. Like, oh, So let's say you want to sponsor my car and I say $10 million, 20 will do a whole season, single sponsor.
All right, 5% goes to NASCAR.
Yep. But NASCAR is going to kick it back based on the TV deal.
Well,
Look at Major League Baseball. They don't sell out games till the playoffs. None of them. Maybe the Yankees in Boston. Maybe the LA Dodgers. But the rest of the teams, no, they don't sell them out. But TV money keeps them floating.
look, 25% should go to teams, 25% should go to tracks, 25% should go to NASCAR, and the other 25% should be split up in winnings, race winnings.
Yep. I agree. But how are we going to fix it?
NASCAR gets to double dip. They get their NASCAR
They
money
don't have the tracks.
and then they get track money. And I'm okay with that as long as the teams are getting a bigger cut. The teams really need a bigger cut than the tracks, honestly. I think the tracks get a smaller cut, the teams get a bigger cut, but the tracks get 5% of sponsorship money too.
Let them keep all the
Or
ticket
3%.
sales for the seats.
Okay.
But charge a tax for NASCAR. 10%
yes.
of the tickets goes to
Okay,
NASCAR.
that's a good point. I think
So
the
promote the race better.
ticket sales should be 100% profitability for the tracks.
Yep.
Ticket sales should go to nobody but the track. And that they should be making enough money off sponsorship and everything else where the ticket sales matter. That way they have to go promote to actually fill the seats.
Yeah.
Nobody cares right now. We have been to races this season. When you walk around outside, it looks like a deserted ghost town. They have dudes on pogo sticks thinking that's like, what do you think we are? A bunch of morons walking around like idiots? Like,
I don't know.
hey guys, we got some guys on pogo sticks over here. Y'all want us to entertain you? Boingy, boingy, boing. I mean,
I was entertained by the Pogo guys.
yeah, but what do they think we are, morons? I mean,
Maybe I am a moron. Maybe that's why Steve Phelps
I'm
and his
just saying, it just
little Docker shoes and his slick back hair like he's selling me a used car.
I would rather see Steve Phelps walk out in jorts and cowboy boots. And then at least it would look like he knew what the fan base was.
Is there? I'm just. They're the. You know what's happened? The Masons and the Illuminati are taking over.
It feels like the Illuminati's taking over.
They've decided to ruin NASCAR. That with their secret handshakes. I mean, did you see Phelps up there doing a little weird little bing, bing, bing with his fingers when he's shaking Dale Jr.'s hand?
Right.
And even Dale Jr.'s like, what the hell are you doing, boy? Sit down.
I still say,
Why are you finger fucking my hand?
I still say we need Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart to run NASCAR for a year. Not a year. It'd take 5 years.
We got to give him a 5-year contract. But do we give them stock? See, if we were publicly traded, they could have stock options and they could say, hey, look, we're going to value your shares in NASCAR at today's rate. It's trading at $10 a share.
Which currently the rate would suck. I mean, TV ratings have plummeted the last 15 years.
But the product sucks.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, we're going to buy it at today's value. And then if it goes up in 5 years, we reevaluate it and you get paid on that value if we win. And what we says works.
What the hell are we hearing? Oh, I'm so sick of rule changes in the middle of the season.
Well, they have to change the rules because the appeals process. When the appeals overturn something, they have to change the rules to make sure that never happens again.
Why should just forget the appeals?
That was the stupidest thing ever. Like, they should have given William...
Rule on the track or forget about it.
Correct. Or if you take points away, give them back the week before the race. You can't wait till after Talladega to give him the points back. You've already messed up. That would be like me scoring a touchdown in week 6, and when the game starts in week 7, them putting me at -7 because they reviewed the play during the week and decided it wasn't actually a touchdown.
Hey, they gave his points back and screwed Larson.
That's right. They just swapped out Harvick.
Bend over, buddy.
It makes no sense.
I'm getting real ticked off about NASCAR.
But it's just one thing after another. Then we get the phantom caution of the cardboard yesterday. I mean, the cars were driving. It was a piece of cardboard that was glued to the wall. what was going to happen. I've seen the bottom of these cars. There's nothing there.
Might
It's
have been
flat.
just a piece of vinyl.
Well, it was that cardboard. It was that thin, flimsy cardboard. Maybe it was plastic. I don't know. But the cars were going to drive. It wasn't going to puncture a tire.
What did it say on it? Sponsored by Bushwhacker Brewery?
He said it was sponsored by NASCAR wants to throw a caution so Jeff Gluck's pole doesn't look bad.
Sponsored by Tater Tots.
Tater tots.
Tater salad.
All right.
God dang it, man. That's just pissing me off.
Well, I mean, look, it's set up for a debacle. You know, I was going to vote on Jeff Gluck's poll no. At the middle of stage, actually with 8 laps to go, I had made up my mind I was voting no. It was not a good race. Then the caution happened, and then everybody lost their dang mind and became the dumbest drivers in the world. It was
a crash derby.
You had Chase going to run you over with his bulldozer Briscoe, driving through through car, literally driving through people. You had his teammate Cole Custer just slamming on brakes, which like we talked about before the show even started. You don't really have a problem with what Cole Custer did.
Yeah, that's why we have teams.
I don't know, man. What do you think Michael Waltrip says about that?
Clint Boyer itching his poison ivy and doing a donut in the middle of Richmond. I have a problem with that, but
how's that any different than what?
It's not. It is different.
How? How's that different? Because I don't really care if he does it or not.
You've ridden with me. How many times have I go, oh, that guy behind me is an asshole, and I slow down?
Well, how is it?
I mean.
Yeah, but those cars hit him. He caused damage to those vehicles when he slammed on brakes. His team come over the radio and says, Cole.
So what's worse?
No, listen.
They didn't come over the radio.
Yeah, they came over and said, Cole,
your
tire's going flat.
Uh-huh.
How the heck does he not know he has a tire going flat? Why does the team have to come over the radio and say, hey, you have a tire going flat?
So what you do.
I've had a flat tire.
But it was going flat.
Well, how does he not? He would know before the team guys would.
What did I tell you before we drove to Talladega in the Prius? I said, I don't like the tire pressure. And I pulled out my little tire air machine, and I adjusted the pressures.
They don't have tire pressure monitoring systems on these tires.
It's called TPS, tire pressure systems. Why not?
I don't know, but they don't.
I mean, we reinvented the car.
Because
let's put in TPS in the freaking tires.
Well, they won't put in miles per hour either, so why would they give you a tire pressure monitor system?
Why don't we make the sidewalls a little bigger and put an interliner in it? I mean, geez, we did that forever, but all of a sudden, oh, I just pooped my pants.
Why don't we just put them in the Xfinity car with a 1,000 horsepower motor and say, let it rip, Tater Chip. Do what you can. Hang on.
I'm telling you, if this shit keeps up, this is one fan that won't be watching it.
Michael Waltrip went out of business from manipulating a race.
I mean, what happened today? For the first time. Now, we watched the race, unfortunately, but we caught everything we need to see on the recap on YouTube.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. But I'm going to go on a little. The Masons again, or the Illuminati, or both. They got involved because they control Fox and they control NBC. And what happened? They had to show us the idiots crashing into each other, and we did not get to see the little moron in the 20 car pass Harvick.
No.
Where's it at? Where's the footage?
There's no camera. Maybe somebody in the infield got it.
It's like Malaysia Airlines MH370. Where'd it go?
Well, I mean,
the Masons.
The government needed
the Masons
to just disappear. Poof.
So we didn't know the secret handshake to watch the video footage.
That's who runs the place, man. The Masons.
Well,
they run it all.
Do you have a feeling?
New World Order.
Up until the last 5 laps of this race,
NASCAR called down and
we're seeing the drivers quiet quit. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I have. I mean,
they're quiet quitting.
They're just not trying. Not all of them. Not all of them are quietly quitting. I would say we
got 8 that probably aren't quiet quitting. Maybe
I say half.
4.
I think more are not than are.
You think Denny will give up the
Kyle
possibility
Kyle
of
Busch quietly quitting is still better than Cody Ware.
That's true.
So,
but do you think that Denny Hamlin is going to quiet quit to get it and shaft his first championship?
no.
I don't think so either.
He's going to take the bag of dog crap he's been dealt and try to make something out of it.
Where's all the revenge we heard about?
You can't do it.
Where's it at?
He can't jeopardize his championship run.
Where's his teammates that aren't in the championship?
His teammates don't give a crap about him. You think anybody at Joe Gibbs cares about anybody at Joe Gibbs? I mean, could you have...
I think Truex quiet quit in April.
You got Christopher Bell, who's like 13.
I thought he was the second female driver to win a race.
He's like 13 years old. Then you got Martin Truex, who's like a lumberjack.
He's so young. He hasn't even hit puberty to get puberty pimples. Have you noticed that?
Pickles.
He's got no pimples.
I was like, what's a puberty pickle?
Well, he's in a puberty pickle.
Don't explain what a puberty pickle is.
Somebody needs to give him some testosterone. He even sounds like a little boy.
I just have a problem with him winning yesterday. I don't know that I have a problem.
He's in the championship.
I have a problem with him. Actually, not really, because he's done better than Briscoe.
It's a second win.
Briscoe makes it to the next round. If Briscoe lucks up and makes it to Phoenix, he won there. Briscoe could conceivably be our next champion.
That's why
he hasn't done crap all year.
That's why we know the Illuminati are pulling some strings.
He won a race and he's wrecked some people trying to win races. I mean, I don't know.
If we were trying to make storylines, they wouldn't be throwing the cautions the way they're throwing them.
Well, I mean, it gave A.J. Allmendinger to drive like a douche canoe right up through everybody.
Who's not even qualified
for
the championship.
Him and Tyler Reddick did all they could to wreck Chase Elliott on that last lap.
Tyler Reddick has a reason to be pissed.
Why?
He's come out of nowhere. This year he's kicked some butt, and guess what?
Nobody cares?
No, they need a knockout round.
Well, they do care.
What they need to do, you get down to 12.
Make them fight.
Could.
Fist fight.
You could.
Or put them in those sumo outfits. I still think that would be
Or
fun.
what do we do? Remove everyone? Let 4 cars race to the championship?
You know what?
That's technically what happens, because if you think of all the last races for championship, all the drivers that aren't going to win, they'll just pull over.
All right. You know that long straightaway that's kind of downhill at Coda? The one where
you go up the hill, take a hard turn, and come back down?
The one where they had all the incidents that year during the heavy rain?
Uh-huh.
I think they should put all the drivers in shopping carts, like on Jackass, send them down the hill.
With Hans devices so they don't get hurt.
Whoever makes it to the bottom is your champion. Because that would fit this circus of a clown show that we've been watching the last 6 weeks.
Well, actually,
why don't we have clowns on the track? You ever seen that funny car commercial and the dude's like, they turned my car into a clown and I hate clowns. Why don't we have Wonder Bread on a car and Ricky Bobby in his underwear running around screaming for Oprah Winfrey and baby Jesus to come out?
It's where we're headed.
It is exactly. NASCAR is fitting the exact mold that the fans complained about on that stupid show that Netflix released. I mean, they're making us look like a bunch of Southwest Virginia hillbillies.
We are kind of, aren't we?
In jorts and cowboy boots.
Yeah, but whatever's happening, they're stealing the sport from the fans. It's being stolen.
Well, I've been watching NASCAR my whole life.
It's being stolen.
And they're ruining
like Donald Trump's 2020 campaign and like Hunter Biden's laptop. All stolen. Did I piss off both parties? I hope so.
He's going to jail, man.
Whatever. Well, dude, let's go to politics for a second. If you are voting for your party, you're part of the problem. Because nothing will change. These morons running our country has set up this system where they're rewarded for dividing the country.
No doubt.
And all they do is profit more and more from it.
How do you fix it?
Well, the parties have made it so hard for a third party to be developed by their election laws. Our state, Georgia's one of them. It's difficult.
Yeah, we can't even have stuff added to the ballot by petition.
You and I can't go get signatures and have stuff added.
No, that makes no sense.
So the people don't get to decide.
But then you have, when these elections come around, you have no options. You have, I mean, we've seen it in your town, your home state. I mean, hometown, your district. He ran unopposed for 5 elections. Mm-hmm. And then you went to run against him, and all of a sudden there's like 18 people running for office in your district.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll get Jamie.
We'll pay you to run for a county position. We'll 100% finance it.
Well,
they did. At least they didn't lie about that. But sorry, it seems like NASCAR is being run by the same people running our country. Yeah. Why wasn't there some concern a week or two after, let's say, the 3rd race where Kurt Busch said, I still got my migraine? And I'm not downplaying. I think it's a concussion. I'm not making fun of Kurt Busch.
Here's the thing. A bigger deal should have been made after Martinsville. Martinsville absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather watch the Roval again and again and again than ever watch that first Martinsville race ever again. That was by far the worst thing I've ever seen. So after that, NASCAR downplayed it by saying, oh, well, it wasn't our fault. It was the weather. It was Goodyear. They brought too good of a tire, and Goodyear said, well, it wasn't our fault. It was the weather. It was the track's fault. They built too good of a track. And then the track said, oh, it wasn't our fault either. It was the weather's fault. Nobody's taking blame for this car sucking.
Do we know how much Goodyear gives to NASCAR to sell tires to the race teams? What is it? $2,000 for a set of 4?
Well, you know, the France Mafia is definitely Goodyear. This is what you're going to pay, or you will die.
You imagine noon. What makes you think that Pirelli can come into our territory?
Hoosier is here.
Who's your daddy?
That's what I mean. So they're like the mafia.
They are.
And they're just controlling it all. So how do you fix it?
How do you fix it? Well, we
started this whole podcast. How do you fix it? Dale Jr., Tony Stewart. That's the fix.
File for an IPO.
Yep.
Cash out France family.
Get rid of them.
Because you know what? We're not going to be able to bring any of the first 2 Frances back from the dead.
No.
Jesus has not come back yet. And when he comes back, we're not going to care about NASCAR anymore. We're going to be in heaven.
Exactly.
So, you know, unless you go to the Witch of Endor, pretend you're like King Saul, you ain't bringing back the Frances that were good for the sport. Right now, we got a bunch of preppy little yuppies running around, controlling shit while the drivers are quiet quitting.
Like I said, I would be willing to say this has probably been the worst season ever, and it's the playoffs. The playoffs got here, and all we've discussed since the playoffs started are stupid calls by NASCAR,
crappy cars,
safety issues, parts failures, NASCAR being greedy. I mean, that's the new talk. The teams are losing money, greedy, and NASCAR's making tons of money. This car sucks on road courses, super speedways, short tracks, and Texas.
Question for you.
What?
How many driver hats do you own? I see the Hooters number 9, Chase.
Yeah, and I have a Days of Thunder style, the Hendrix one.
Didn't you buy a Chevy hat in Talladega?
Yeah, I have a Chevy hat.
Okay. How many NASCAR only items do you have that does not have a driver or manufacturer on it?
Nothing.
I mean, you might see the logo where they paid a little. I mean, they gave a little taste to the France family.
There's actually very few NASCAR logos if you look around the studio. I mean, you got Wrangler, Atlanta, Winston Cup. We have Winston Cup Series very present here in the studio. We have Junior Motorsports, Quaker State 400.
Shoot, you got the Blue Deuce.
Yep.
Is that Kurt Busch Blue Deuce or
Haviline, Kodiak?
Yeah.
Kyle Petty, Ernie
Mr.
Irvin,
Goodrich, number 3.
Bub Weiser.
Shoot, you got the IMSA Corvette that Dale and Dale Jr. raced at Daytona.
There's another Winston Cup logo. I've yet to find a NASCAR. Oh, there we go. Our media passes have NASCAR logos on them. That is all we have with a NASCAR.
But it was SMI that gave us access, not NASCAR.
Well, the first one's an SMI one. The second one's NASCAR. But that's it. Our media passes are the only thing that say NASCAR.
Oh, hold it. Our ticket for the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Oh, yep.
There's a NASCAR.
Our Wi-Fi access card doesn't have SMI Charlotte. That's it, man. We really have. Wow.
So to be honest, we're fans of the manufacturers and the drivers. NASCAR could disappear and we'd be okay.
That's fact.
Because racing is going to happen as long as you make a vehicle, and I don't care if it's run on gasoline, diesel, or electricity, or propane, people are going to race. And I'll pay to watch the race, but I'm getting a little tired of the motorsports mafia sticking their finger in it.
And you know, the mafia is bigger than you think. I mean, think about it. NASCAR owns MRN. All those personalities on Sirius XM radio, NASCAR people.
Yeah, they can get fired if they say something negative.
So would that not be an extension of the mafia? Would that be like the street gang?
PRN? I mean, they're owned by SMI, but they're not owned by NASCAR.
Well, SMI is paid by NASCAR because SMI is basically, they do what NASCAR says because NASCAR's cutting them in on a bigger chunk of that TV money.
So why hasn't anyone broken up the NASCAR monopoly? It's way bigger than Indy.
Well, I mean, you look at it, SRX came in, but SRX isn't the answer.
No, it's not.
You need a car similar to, you know what? You could probably, somebody with some money could probably come in and buy the Xfinity or the Truck Series. Heck, you could buy the ARCA Series.
No, the NASCAR just bought it. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. You could probably get the ARCA Series for a deal. Heck, you could take the Cars Tour Series, move Cup drivers to that. I would pay money to go see them race at Hickory or wherever.
Knoxville.
Yeah, you've got plenty of racetracks around the country. If they're shorter tracks, you don't, and that's what fans like, shorter tracks. Let's go run that for a few. Let's go. What if all the NASCAR teams and drivers say, you know what? We're going on strike, NASCAR. Figure it out. They take all those Cup drivers to the Cars Tour Series, run a season. I would pay for Flow Racing or whatever the subscription service is.
All you got to do is increase the purse. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the drivers would do it.
They get to run around on 1,000 horsepower motors, too.
But you do something like that, the money would follow the drivers, like we just established in our studio.
We followed Dale Jr. to North Wilkesboro. So, it wasn't NASCAR.
No. There was 20,000 plus people at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and it was not a NASCAR affiliated event.
And, I ran into a serial killer at the 76 gas station in the mountains.
And lived to tell about it.
I risked my life and limb to go watch Dale Jr. drive in North Wilkesboro.
We met the last living moon-eyed person.
Oh, the guy with the hot nuts?
No, I was talking about the serial killer lady.
Oh, yeah, well, she was moon-eyed.
The guy behind the hot nuts guy, he might have been moon-eyed.
Did you watch that video on the moon-eyed people I sent you?
Yes, they look like aliens, though.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit because they were saying from the beginning they were Welsh.
Yeah, so it didn't fit with everything else we've read. And,
they were saying that the pile of rocks in North Georgia could be the base of, say, a 12th century castle in Welsh land. Isn't that really Wales?
Maybe.
If you're Welsh.
But how would it get there?
Because they came from Welsh land.
So they brought their castle?
Never was a country ever. No, they took their skill set.
It might have been.
Because guess what? Guess who works with rocks and stones?
Masons?
Uh-huh.
So it all goes back to the Masons.
Yes.
So the Masons
are controlling
the Moonides.
Yes.
Maybe the Moonides are also the ones who ran Atlantis before it disappeared.
And then we live in Atlanta.
But why do they...
if you drop the A and put an IS, it's Atlantis.
But why do they depict the moon-eyed people like, some drunk hillbilly out of the backwoods of
Have you seen those
Knoxville,
statues
Tennessee?
they said they found?
No.
Well, there's 2 statues in some
No, I didn't watch
North
the whole video. I
Carolina
couldn't handle it.
museum that look kind of like aliens, but if you really think about it, I don't think the Cherokee had any.
Could have just been a 5-year-old doing the carving.
Well, do you think they had art school for the Cherokee? Even in like the 11th century or 12th century. I mean,
maybe when the Cherokees got up to like the high school level, they did, but I doubt it. I don't know if they made them take electives back then.
if you're like this badass Conan the Barbarian in the 12th century and decide, hey, I'm going to go to the new world that no one even knows about.
You know, the Vikings came here before Christopher Columbus.
In Newfoundland.
And they got all.
Maybe that's why it's called
Maine.
Newfoundland, because they found it new.
Probably. Well, they were up in New England.
Yeah.
Maybe they found it new too. It's like, oh, England over here sucks. So here's our New England.
Well, that's why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah. Everybody left over there.
Yeah.
So where are we going next? Mexico? Canada? I keep telling my wife we're going to move to Spain.
It's cheaper there, I think, to live.
More laid back.
And there's going to be a gigantic demand for air conditioning in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, gigantic.
Well, ain't nobody over here going to be able to afford it with inflation.
Well, in Europe,
everybody's going to be back on swamp coolers, box fans, and coolers of ice. Going, oh, that feels good.
Watching YouTube videos. This is how you make it with a Yeti.
Yeah,
Dang, that air conditioner's so expensive, I can get dry ice, a fan, and a Yeti, and it'd be cheaper than an air conditioner.
And it even keeps my beer cold.
And who's doing that? The government.
Yep. The moon-eyed people.
Uh-huh.
The Masons.
And who's in the government?
Illuminati.
A bunch of idiots. But we keep putting them in. Let's keep voting the same guys in because we're stupid too.
Well, that's all you got. You get two options. You got
that's because
dumb and dumber.
The Illuminati,
dumb and dumber. Who you gonna take?
The Illuminati has prevented us from getting someone else on the ballot.
I think Richard Petty. Dude,
I would vote for him.
I saw where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came out and said he was not going to run for president, and I was like, "Thank
I would
God."
not vote for Dwayne Rock. And he said people have talked to him. Bullshit.
Who?
Narcissist.
That's people out in Hollywood. Nobody else has talked to him.
He didn't even say what party. Because he's a narcissist.
Well, they weren't. There's no party in their right mind going to I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would be a good choice.
Did you see this? Where he was a tooth fairy?
Hey,
Matthew, badass.
They said Matthew McConaughey was talking about running for something out in Texas.
What's he going to run for? Gatekeeper at the wall?
Maybe.
Well,
governor.
Aren't you sick and tired of hearing about this damn wall they won't put up?
It's our border. Why wouldn't we protect it?
Yeah,
but protect my house.
None of the two parties, they'd rather argue about it than put a wall up.
I mean, you come in my house and you're not invited.
Boom.
You're probably not walking out.
Boom. I could tell you a story about the weekend, but I'm not going to admit anything.
No, we'll leave that one out.
But boom.
But they won't mess with you again.
No.
Guaranteed they won't follow you.
I'm not even going to tell you what I took out because I might make a list where they'll come take it, but it's perfectly legal. Maybe not now. I don't know.
It still is.
Is it still legal?
Yeah, I think.
Did I get grandfathered in because I bought it before they banned it? Is it banned in Georgia?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's gun laws are different everywhere.
I bought it at a gun store legally.
Yeah, well, you're okay then.
And it's not a fully automatic, folks. But anyway.
Well, I mean, if you buy weed in Colorado legally and you take it out of Colorado into Kansas where it's illegal and you get pulled over, can you say, well, this isn't illegal weed, officer. This is legal weed that I bought in Colorado. I didn't buy this illegally.
Well,
I bought it
maybe
legally.
they should fix that too. Do you think 30 warning shots is too many?
Yeah.
I mean, my clip was empty.
Yeah, I mean, that's at what, $2 a round right now?
Oh, it was expensive.
I mean, that was like $75 worth of warnings. You hadn't seen the sign that says, due to the price of ammo, there will not be any warning shots?
So I talked to a friend of mine who is a sheriff, deputy sheriff. He's not elected.
Yeah.
He asked me why I didn't shoot him.
Yeah, I know. And your answer was?
After the 30 rounds, I was prepared.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was ready to take someone else's life.
Your adrenaline was pumping, huh?
Yeah, and I was very pissed.
It was a heck of a night for you.
Yeah, I was very angry.
Yeah, Friday was a rough night, man.
But you probably shouldn't approach anyone that lives in the middle of nowhere.
No, they're probably
where
back.
you can see the headlights coming from like 3 miles away, and then cut down a private road and then a long driveway.
Only thing that would have made it better is if you would have been in the Prius. Like, why are they following a Prius with a tow hitch?
I don't know. People are strange. They didn't get what they bargained for.
Oh, definitely not.
No.
All right. Where are we going next week? It's got to be better than this week.
Are you sure? Well, Vegas was good at the beginning of the race or the season. See, I can't even get things right.
Oh, did we even say who won the race yesterday? Yeah, we did. Christopher Bell.
Did we say this is episode 36?
This is episode 36. Christopher Bell won that race. If you want to call it a race, or you can call it Calamity Corner, you can call it travesty, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Christopher Bell won it.
So how far back in the pack do we go to where we can say there's a legitimate winner?
AJ Douche Canoe Allmendinger.
Pre-yellow flag?
Won Xfinity race. Yeah. So Chase Elliott won that race. Everything after lap 5 was a wash. That was just it. The race.
Did you notice
they didn't pass at all. The only passing
was single file till the last 5 laps.
Exactly. The only passing was the different pit strategies. That's the only time positions changed. And then the Chevys were having their happy crappy parts failures yesterday with Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain.
Think his pecs are bigger, or he got a 6-pack, or added 2 more beers to an 6-pack, made an 8-pack?
I heard Suarez said that if that would have been Corey LaJoie, Corey would have tapped out. He wouldn't have been able to handle that.
Ooh, them fighting words there.
That's what I said. You think they would fight? Like Suarez, like, hey, that's it.
No, I think Corey.
Hey, man, I'm gonna kick your butt, man. Coming at you.
I don't think they would fight. I think they might, have a heated argument, hug each other, and have a beer.
Play kickball,
soccer.
They played that. Corey had that kickball tournament. That was pretty cool. I saw where what's his name? Austin Cindric wore those like size 23 hiking boots. I don't know if that'll probably be. I think they were steel toe. I think he was cheating. That's just like a Penske
Did the
driver.
Frances make him put it on?
Probably. Well, his dad, it works for Penske. So doesn't Cole Custer's dad work for Stuart Haas?
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Cole Custer did a solid slowing down, though. He did.
You think they'll penalize him?
I think it's a shame if they do, but I wouldn't. Really, we can throw all caution to the wind. We have no clue what those psychos running NASCAR is going to do next. We have nothing. We have no clue.
And whatever decision they make, it'll be overturned by the appeals. And I think the appeals board is either run by MRN, PRN, or SMI.
Just so I can.
It's probably Dave Moody, Chocolate Myers, and I don't know.
Just to piss off the Republicans, it's kind of like
Smith.
if you and I put a $100 bill on a fishing line and both threw it in front of Donald Trump. We don't know which direction he's going to go. He'd probably try to get both. And then he would take it home and hide it. He wouldn't say, "Oh, I found $100."
He'd grab one of them and throw a brick at you. Get the other one.
Or
kill us both and take
or
both
we could
100.
play to piss off the Democrats, hide the laptop.
That might not piss them off. That might make them happy.
Set Joe loose in the White House. But anyway, whatever.
Hey, if you want to piss off a Democrat, all you have to do is have your own opinion. Have your own thought. Heck, think for yourself and piss off the left.
Piss off a Democrat? Give people a choice.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that. That's what I said. Let them think for yourself. That'll piss them off. All right. Going to Vegas. Where would we not want to stay at if we were going to Vegas?
The computer repair shop, because they'll turn in your laptop.
Anywhere.
Circus. Now, I went to Yelp
Hey, circus.
because I discovered, and I'm slow mentally, but you can click just the 1-star reviews on Yelp. Did you know that?
You can do that on Google too.
I didn't know that either.
Man. And you gave me a hard time not knowing Washington's football team was in D.C.
I am not a Mason. I'm a Quaker.
My wife didn't know that Washington's football team was in Washington, D.C. either. So,
What?
see, it's not just me.
So
I married
Coach
one just
Gibbs
like me.
was constantly 3 hours behind because he was in Seattle. Does that mean the Seahawks?
But New York has 3 teams, so why couldn't Washington State have 2 teams?
Ah, they only got 2.
The Jets, the Bills, and
Oh,
the
you're
other-
talking the whole state.
and the Giants.
You're talking the whole state.
New York is a state.
Well, the problem with New York is everyone forgets that outside of New York City, there's a whole millions of acres, square miles of
That's where my in-laws live at.
square miles of normal people. Who would have thought there's normal people in New York?
Well, they put all the Democrats in one little place, and they named it New York City. And then they put the normal people outside of there.
Massachusetts is quite similar. They put all the nut jobs around Boston.
I shouldn't say Democrats, because not all Democrats are wackadoodles. It's really just the extreme leftist liberals, like the ones who are on The View.
What about the super duper Magnus?
Well, they're domestic terrorists, according to
Dude.
our president.
I crap you not. I shit you not.
You crap me not.
I've got a
I hope
friend
not.
that has a t-shirt with Jesus putting a halo on Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's a little much for me.
What the hell, dude?
There's no place for that. Jesus and Donald Trump aren't even in the same conversation. All right, circus.
God would smote Donald Trump and Biden.
No doubt.
I'm not sure what a smote is, but it's in the Bible. So, circus.
It's kind of like that Zeus on Little Mermaid. Zeus has his little.
Is that his schmoting?
What's that thing called? His pitchfork thing?
Oh, the guy, the seals. The
His
seals
scepter?
have that thing.
His scepter, and he's like, zoom, zoom, zoom,
Try
shooting.
something. What's it called?
Tri-Wizard Tournament.
So does
Do you watch Harry Potter?
I do. I like Harry Potter.
So, I'm Gryffindor.
Are you?
Yeah. Sometimes I think I could be Slytherin, but most of the time I'm Gryffindor.
I'm Slytherin. Can you imagine that?
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I'm definitely not Hufflepuff. So
You're not Huff and Puff?
Well, maybe. I have a Harry Potter tattoo.
I've seen you and your wife have it.
And we have matching Harry Potter tattoos. Where are we going again? Circus?
Circus, which is a real shithole according to the review. It's kind of like NASCAR.
It's Marie Angelina F Elite 2022. What's that mean? She's effing elite?
She is a member of the elite.
Remember on Door Bumper Clear where they had like typed out F-ing, F-I-N-G, and Casey was like, effing, fing. She read it
She thought it was
fing.
a real word.
She's like, fing? That was hilarious.
So this is Marie Angeline,
F.
elite since 2022. I think you get a elite little bonus star, kind of like,
Oh, I thought it meant fing.
oh, it just hit me what we're talking about. A trident. That's that little spear thing you do
Yeah.
underwater.
Not the gum.
Yeah, not the. You would think they would have a little three stick gigger there.
3-stick gigger.
I'd like to use
like
a
a fishing lure?
trident. I would like to get a trident to go hog hunting.
That's how we got on Harry Potter. Trident, Tri-Wizard Tournament, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Now we're back to Trident and Little Mermaid.
Do you think the Navy's run by the?
Little Mermaid.
It's either the Little Mermaid or the Illuminati.
Maybe. Did you see where they had that lady?
My dad was a member of a secret society that we've mentioned before.
Did you see that lady in Pennsylvania? She showed up at the school board meeting and she stripped down to like some like lingerie looking onesie thing that was very provocative, and they were like freaking out, like telling her to put clothes on.
In California, that's the sex ed teacher for the kindergarten.
Okay,
This is my vagina.
the reason she wore that.
Can you say vagina?
The reason she wore that was because the drag queen that performed for the students of the school, that's what he wore.
Did he say, this is my penis?
Well, I'm sure it looked worse than what she looked like wearing it.
Or did he say, I'm not going to show you my penis, but here's Tommy Lee's penis. He texted it to me.
And Tommy Lee don't text it. He just tweets it. I saw pictures of Bill Burr went and saw Tommy Lee and them on that.
Did he see his penis?
We should have tweeted Bill Burr and asked him before the show, like, hey, did Tommy show you his?
I saw the picture and I looked at cucumbers at the grocery store. Thought I should put in my underwear.
When I saw Motley Crue for the first time in concert, Tommy Lee walked out with no pants on.
Did you say, hey, put that elephant trunk away, dude?
You know, I was stunned for life. I'll never feel the same.
You hoser. Isn't that Canadian?
You hoser.
You hoser.
All right, Circus.
Marie Antoinette.
The elite.
And look at the weird numbers. I don't know what that is. It's like her social security number.
105 141
1427272. She said, we were invited as VIP this weekend. And I've got to say, I was excited because I knew there's new owners at Treasure Island. Oh, no, that means she put in brackets. Treasure Island bought Circus, I guess.
Oh.
So I thought this trip would bring better experiences, but sadly, that wasn't the case. As we checked in, we had to pay resort fees and a $75 deposit as an invited VIP. That doesn't sound very VIP-ish.
Well, nothing's free. It's Vegas.
Yeah, but you paid extra to be a VIP?
Why not?
It sounds like she was already one.
It's the American way.
The previous owners would never have charged. And as a matter of fact, we got free buffets and tons of spending money. As we were checking in, Anna, the desk clerk, told us there's no room cleaning service for 4 days, 3 nights invited stay. Do you think Anna has that problem with the English language, or is that Marie Antoinette?
Probably Marie Antoinette.
Can you imagine, she says,
having to clean up your own room?
Well, if you
Por favor.
Steve Phelps would be very angry.
Oh, yeah. He probably owns a hotel.
You got some por favor on my Sperry's and my rolled up pants. And my, what's that stupid shirt people wear with the logos on the back?
I don't know.
It's not Patagonia. Oh, it's the North Face.
Okay.
Is that your North Face on your back?
Maybe. What's your back face?
I hope none of our listeners have that on the back of their shirt, but it looks stupid.
I was trying to figure out if I had North Face on.
It looks like Donald Trump's children and Hunter Biden got together and made an imprint shop. Anyway,
that was probably their sign. That was a Trump 2024 sign on the racetrack that brought out that caution at the end of the race.
It could be. And little Donald and Hunter strapped it up on the fence.
They threw it under the fence, slid it right out on the track. We got him, Dad.
As they were snorting cocaine.
Off the side.
The first night we stayed in room 428. The toilet kept spitting up water. No, that was the bidet, people. Ask Steve Phelps about that. That's the bidet.
Every time I turn this knob, the toilet shoots water up my butthole.
Steve Phelps and Brian France shared a room, and it was the bidet. Sorry, room 428 has a bidet for the European traveler. Kept spitting up. Wow, that's horrible. When anyone took a shower, I didn't finish the sentence. So if your wife comes in to drop a deuce while you're showering, she doesn't have to wipe. It's clean.
Enough to what? I'm not understanding the rest of the sentence.
My anus is clean. Thanks for showering. Remember that Italian restaurant we went to on business last week?
Yeah, but that lady.
And we argued with the waitress. We asked her if that was.
Our calamari is definitely not cow butthole.
We said, is that cow or pig sphincter you're feeding us fried? No.
So we tried it.
We,
We're the idiots.
I figured if you fried it, it had to,
I mean, you'll eat
400 degrees.
People eat chitlins and get away with it, so you're okay if you're eating a butthole and don't know about it.
Well, let's go back to the curtains on the shower were yellow and green. Was that from buttholes? Could have been.
Maybe.
In the middle of the night, they came to work on the drain, and housekeeping kindly changed the curtain.
Little fluffy pillow.
That was a long night. Now the toilet continues to spit up, and the sink makes these weird noises, and there's black water coming up. That's not good.
That's why they have VIP.
Ew.
You can be our VIP guest.
So this morning, I called the front desk, Rolando, because the previous 2 nights, the front desk clerk said they wouldn't move us to a different room. It's a policy. She put in brackets. And finally, thanks to Rolando, we will get a new room today. Thank you again. It's our last night, and hopefully everything will work out. We left a previous review on Circus Manor Nightmare when we walked into our room about to be robbed, but we gave them another chance. It's my belief that we won't be back. It's not because of employees. It's because of the policy.
Yep. That's typical of corporate America, screwing everything up. But honestly,
except for our corporation,
if I went somewhere and was robbed, I wouldn't go back. You don't get a second chance for armed robbery.
Well, her name is Marianne Angeline, which is like Antoinette.
Maybe that's
so. She's just stupid. I mean, stupid is what stupid does.
That's what Forrest says.
Yeah, and there's so many hotels in Vegas. Vegas is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you won't get. That's what my mommy told me, who worked at the brothel. So then we have Steve Z. Is that Steve Zahn? Wasn't he on?
Steve Zelps.
So Steve Zelps, who doesn't have deck shoes.
This is Steve Zelps, not related to Steve Phelps.
And this is the Desert Hills Motel, which I looked at pictures. It's pretty sketch.
I'm sure it sounds.
I mean, oh my god, it was there back before.
Sounds like a 1970s horror movie.
Yeah, this was before the motor sports mafia showed up. But he gives it a 1 out of 5, basically for reading it. I've read some 2 out of 5s, but if you're reading it, it's a 1 out of 5. So he says, "What a shithole!" Exclamation point. So I'm going to say it just, what a shithole! I've never stayed in a more disgusting room in my life. The barracks and military housing were like the Taj Mahal by comparison. The bed was like plywood. The room smelled musty. The floor had a hump in it, and I tripped over. The door had a space under it that a rat could fit through. The microwave had rust in it. The pool had big dumpsters next to it that were overflowing with trash and trash juice. What?
Ugh.
Ooh, so went in the pool?
Why would you get in the pool?
There was a van sitting on the property that clearly had not moved in many years, with 4 flat tires and an old mattress leaning against it. That's when you just leave.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
And call your credit card and say someone stole your card. And just remind Chase Visa, I'm not in Vegas. I'm not in Vegas. And that's when you use a different credit card for the rest of your stay in Vegas. So anyway, the neighborhood looked like the kind of place where you would be lucky to get out alive. There were scumbags everywhere you looked. The office lady seemed like she was high on meth. She was a tenacious liar. That should be a rap band, Tenacious Liar.
Tenacious D.
Well, he could change to liar. She said that we had to leave a $100 deposit, cash or credit card. We elected to leave cash. Big mistake. And then she said,
no refund.
She needed the credit card info as well. What?
Of course she did.
Oh.
And your social security number.
Yeah, the mattress against the van with 4 flats. Come on.
And we're going to need to borrow your kids.
It was clear that she wanted the credit info, you think?
Duh. She was a meth head.
This was further validated by the reviews we found on Yelp and other places.
Why wouldn't you read the reviews first? This makes you an idiot.
One after another claimed credit card fraud after they left.
Obviously.
That was worse. What was worse is that she told us we would not be able to get our cash deposit back until 3 and 5 the next day. In other words, the day would be shot waiting for her to come out of her drug-induced stupor. She even had the nerve to say that we could leave our home address and she would mail it to us. Whatever you do, don't pay attention to the hotel reviews on there. You just told us there were plenty of reviews.
Well, she's saying on their website, don't pay attention because they're probably all fake. Because then she follows that up with they're all bogus. So
I don't have the option to leave less than 1 star, or I would. But you don't. Stop crying over spilled milk. This place should be put on Las Vegas tour of the top 10 dung heaps to stay in.
Do they have
Actually,
that?
it is.
Do they have that actual tour? Do you get like a double-decker bus and ride around all the meth shack hotels?
It is Vegas. The tour would probably cost you $200 with a $50 cash deposit. No refunds.
Everything costs them a lot in Vegas.
And then we go to my favorite, and it's not Wyndham.
Oh,
Yo! Who do you think started OYO? Some rapper from the 80s?
Kanye West. Yeah, it sounds like his new name. Yay, ye. Oh, yo, yeah, he.
I thought Kanye was Jewish, but apparently from his Twitter and
That was funny.
he hates Jews.
He's like in a battle with everybody right now.
Is he? He's only available on Truth Social now, isn't he?
He might run for president again.
Oh yeah, he wasn't on our ballot in Georgia.
No, we didn't have the option because he waited too long or something. All right, oh yo.
Here's another idiot.
Of course.
Elisa S. She says, I've at the OYO Hotel and Casino, 1 out of 5. I've stayed here 5 or 6 times since it opened.
You're an idiot.
Glutton for punishment. I like the cheap stay, free parking, and cheap table games, easy room access, and quick walk to the strip. The first time I stayed here and we found semen inside a stack of plastic cups, and they didn't bat an eye. So maybe they're supposed to drink it? Semen shots?
How you find that inside a stack of plastic cups and come back?
I don't know. That's pretty disgusting. Now, after what happened to me yesterday, I'll never be back. I doubt it. They're coming back. I woke up at 6 a.m. to incessant itching. Tried to go back to sleep, but it would not go away. Got up to find at least 20 welts all over my arms, neck, and chest, face, back, and hands. All of my exposed skinned areas. I woke my roommates up and pulled back the blankets to find one little tiny red bug crawling in circles. So whatever's inside of them got them high, huh?
Something.
Then on the blanket crawling as well were 2 little bugs. But that is more than enough evidence of an infestation, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I caught both
many.
bugs in a plastic cup. Was that the cup of semen?
Yeah.
So
Did you dump the semen out first?
Hard to swim.
And it was our first semen-filled cup, huh? Yeah. With bugs.
So they brought him down to security and filled out a report. For the semen or for the bugs? Why not do a DNA test? The front desk agent and security guards both said they couldn't do anything for me and I'd have to talk to their manager. I called Michael and left a message and received an email back the next day saying an inspection was conducted and no bugs were found. Although we don't know what caused your incident, you should have peace of mind knowing that your discomfort was not caused by bug activity. You're kidding, right? We both know what caused it. Bed bugs. They did have pictures. It was horrible. I sent them photos of all my welts along with videos and photos of the bugs on the bed. Today, I can barely move my arm because it's so swollen and my chin neck looks like I've gained 100 pounds because of the swelling. No, that's from the buffets. Yet they deny it happening. They could have just comped my $60 room and we all could have moved on, but pretending it didn't happen is not cool. I'm going to make sure as many people know now as possible. Then I go to the OYO Oasis on TripAdvisor.
That sounds horrible.
And it's a 1 out of 5. The hotel from the beginning was just a sleazy hotel. I didn't think it was going to be the greatest place, but soon learned it was the worst place. The place was so nasty, we went and bought Lysol and paper towels to sanitize the place, then laid out the paper towels so we could lay on the bed and use the blankets. They used it as blankets. That's horrible. There was only 5 channels, and most of them were porn. If you really want to...
That's how they call it, the Oasis.
Yeah. If you really want to have a boring room, this is the place. Not if you're addicted to porn.
Nope. It'd probably be the place you'd want to go.
Yeah. They got 5 porn channels. If you do not want to catch gonorrhea or get inseminated in any way, then go to the Econo Lodge down the street.
Go to a Wyndham.
Go to a Wyndham. Well, they're right. OYO does seem to be...
If you don't want to catch an STD, go down to the Wyndham. You'll get a virus only.
Do you think you can get gonorrhea or get inseminated from watching the 5 porn stations?
Probably get pregnant.
Ugh. Ugh. You can't have an abortion.
Nope.
That's illegal now.
But if you want to become a woman, Jamie,
go to California.
it's illegal there.
They'll pay for it. That's part of repurposing your tax money to give people sex changes.
Yes.
I think if you're that dedicated, you ought to just pay for it yourself.
I do too. Then you got skin in the game.
Yeah.
Literally.
Or skin in the trash.
Well, it's like when you make your kids work to earn money to buy something they want, they appreciate that item more because they invested their time and effort into it to get that item. So
that's how Pops raised me.
If you got a ding-a-ling and you no longer want it, you need to work, save up the money, get it chopped on your own. Do it on your own dime.
And apparently that's...
And you'll appreciate not having it anymore.
That surgery isn't cheap.
No, because that one Vanderbilt, they're doing it because they're making a killing off of it.
Was it like 50 grand?
Like $100,000. Then you got a lifetime of other problems that come along with the surgery that they're going to be making money off of.
If you decide to go back, can you?
I don't think so.
So... we need...
Well, Lorena Bobbitt cut her husband's off, and he got it sewed back on, didn't he?
Yeah, and didn't he star in a porn movie that was shown at the OYO called Frankenweenie?
It was on one of the...
Or was it Frankie Weenie and Beans?
It was on one of the 5 stations.
Yeah. Huh.
All right, we are going to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This should be a better race because it is one of the 1.5-mile tracks that were half decent.
But you never know if the Motorsports Mafia might stick their fingers in it and just... screw it up.
Luckily, they don't own it, but their hitman do. So it is a 1.5-mile track. It has got progressive banking from 12 to 20 degrees, 4 turns. It is an asphalt track. It will hold 80,000 people. It is owned by SMI.
Hold it. Progressive sells insurance, not banking.
But if you open a savings account with them today,
you get Flo.
You get 12 to 20 degrees.
I like Flo.
Do you?
I do.
She's my favorite in the commercials.
Not sexually.
No,
I just like her character.
I said she's my favorite in the commercials. I didn't say she was on one of the 5 OYO channels.
Her buddy is Jamie.
That's true. But he's an idiot, isn't he?
So am I.
True. All right. This track was opened in 1996. And I know
was it opened on Eastern time?
I guess.
It looks like it from the notes.
All right, I forgot that part. Anyway, Brad Keselowski got
Hold it, dude. You put where to watch TV network. Are you okay? Did you have a bad weekend? You did, didn't you?
I did have a rough weekend.
Wow. So it was pre-race, the bad weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that really threw my whole weekend off. It's still throwing me off, obviously. I still ain't all there.
Huh. Okay. So they built it on Eastern time, and it's going to be on a TV network and a radio network. You guys can figure it out. That's why we have Google.
Oh, you're killing me.
It does have 4 turns, thank goodness.
Well, let's just look it up. You keep talking, and I'll look it up.
Did I throw you off track with the Progressive Insurance?
You just thrown everything off track.
Have you noticed I got that movie star on there, Steve Hamm?
The race is on NBC and PRN. Still don't know what time it is.
Eastern time.
No, I mean, I don't know what time. Oh, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time.
So that makes it 5:30 their time.
Hey, it's on NBC. That's a shocker that they're
No,
still
I
putting
went
on
the wrong way. That makes it 11:30 their time.
Wait a minute. So what time does it? If
11:30 their time because it's 3 hour difference.
Okay. That wouldn't be a bad day, though.
No, if you're in Vegas,
Yeah.
you could spend the day
You still have an evening.
gambling or watching the prostitutes wander around the strip. Is that why they call it the strip? Because there's all those
people.
strippers?
Well, they're mostly naked already on the strip, so
The
you don't
homeless
see 'em.
people or the strippers?
Both.
Oh, yeah.
The homeless people think they're strippers.
Yeah.
They got the cups wanting donations. I mean, ugh. All right. Brad Keselowski has 18 starts here, 3 wins and 12 top 10s. Kevin Harvick has 26 starts, 2 wins, and 13 top 10s. Truex has 21 starts, 2 wins, and 12 top 10s. Joey Logano has 18 starts, 2 wins, and 11 top 10s. The spring race here, the finishing results were Alex Bowman finished first, Larson second, Chastain third, Kyle Busch fourth, William Byron fifth, Eric Almirola, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott.
I'm reading your picks. What the hell, dude?
My picks.
You decided the weekend was a wreck, so you wrecked your picks.
My picks for this weekend at Vegas are BJ McLeod, Cody Ware, Ty Dillon, and Corey LaJoy.
Holy smokes, dude. Wow.
BJ McLeod's going to win this weekend at Vegas because there is now parity in NASCAR.
You know what? I personally, as people, I do like BJ McLeod, Cody Ware, and Corey LaJoy.
I do too. I like BJ McLeod. If I could
That
pick any
dude-
driver to hang out with, it would be him.
And that dude owns his own team and toughs it out every week.
And doesn't complain.
No,
He's just
geez.
happy to be doing what he's doing. And he doesn't get in the way. He doesn't do stupid things. He's out there running his own thing.
I'm going to officially announce that BJ McLeod's my favorite driver.
Well, he is the driver of the show.
He is my Keanu Reeves of racing.
One day, we're going to have Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast on BJ's car.
Have you ever noticed Keanu Reeves seems super cool?
Yeah.
And we do not know where he stands politically.
Like on Speed. That was probably one of my favorite Keanu
The
Reeves
Matrix,
movies.
dude.
Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch them. I think I was too young because
John Wick.
I didn't really get into Wick. I did. The first one was good. That was it though.
And he's got what? Chastain? No, I keep saying that wrong. That's what I was telling you. I watched Chastain, but it ain't Chastain.
What is it?
Christine? No, that's a car that'll kill
Christian
you.
Bale? Batman?
No, he wasn't on there.
Who's your? When you think of Batman, who do you think of? Who's your Batman?
I think they should have let Keanu Reeves do 3 of them.
You think?
I like the original.
I like Christian Bale.
The funny guy. I forgot his name because he's not starred in much of anything else.
I liked Christian Bale as Batman.
He was okay. I kind of like the first guy.
So who
I
did
can't
you
remember
like?
his name. He did 3 of them or 2.
He was in those women's rom-com movies too, I'm sure.
Oh, he was on
What was his
that
name?
one where he cloned himself.
Cloned himself.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I think it went straight to video.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Where he-
Serendipity, Synchronicity.
Serendipity?
Or is that a police album?
Serendipity?
Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Michael Keaton's his name.
There we go.
Michael Keaton.
I know if we kept talking in circles long enough.
Michael
we'd come to
Keaton's the guy.
it. All right, who are you
But
picking?
he's not going to win the race.
Who is?
Neither is Keanu Reeves.
Maybe Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I forgot. Is he still alive?
I think.
All
He
right.
did a good Joker.
I've been picking Brad Keselowski quite a bit. I like Brad.
You going to switch it up?
I'm going to Brad.
All right.
I'm going to say Kurt Busch will be there. And he's going to be one of my top 4 picks.
You think Kurt will be back?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
And then, here's my wild card. Ty Gibbs is going to win.
How's Ty Gibbs going to win if Kurt Busch is back?
It seems Toyota's kind of
Are
strong.
they going to ride together?
Yeah. No, he's going to take Bubba's seat.
Where's Bubba going?
Well, that's 2 of the 3. Since we've had a really effed up weekend, we're
I
just
guess
going to.
based on my picks,
I mean,
you can take Ty and Kurt.
I'm going ape shit with my bump stock, and you don't even know it's just Eastern time. So, and then I'm going to go for my final 4. Harvick.
But Harvick and Keselowski are probably the best 2 picks out of all 8 of our picks.
Fords have been a crappy car for the whole season. Do you think maybe the Motorsport Mafia doesn't like Fords?
Maybe J.J. Yaley will win.
Could be.
Or Josh Bilicki. I doubt it.
But I would sure love B.J. McLeod.
I would too.
McLeod. You know, dyslexia really messes with your mind.
That's a fact.
All right. Oh, guess what?
What?
Don't forget to do your expense report this week.
Yeah.
It's due.
Fact.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He's dropping it. He's losing it.
I got to drive home, too.
You got anything else?
Show close.
You got anything else?
I'm like Joe Biden reading the teleprompter.
Next.
Show close.
Turn page.
Turn the page.
Pause. Look down. Look back up. Speak. Huh? I like ice cream. Ice cream. You ever seen Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, that's our president, dude.
That's what it reminds me of sometimes. Like, you ever seen the videos on like social media where you can hear and I know it's fake, but like Secret Service goes, all right, Joe, 3 more steps and you're going to take a right. 1 more step.
Oh, no, he's going to the bushes.
He is went past
Past the bushes.
Went past the bushes.
Oval Office, Joe.
Find a little kid. Find a little kid for him to sniff.
I've got this theory for our next 2024
Yeah.
where no one loses.
Maybe we should run for president.
No one loses. Listen to this. Let's allow. What was that movie where they were Siamese twins?
Twins?
Comedy? Was it? No. Was
With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Little Short.
No. There's a movie where they were Siamese twins.
I have no idea then. What's a Siamese twin?
Let's allow. And this is my personal opinion, but we got the conservative wackadoodles and the liberal wackadoodles.
Yeah.
None of them will ever be happy.
Correct.
Let's allow Biden and Trump to be president at the same time.
What if we do it like they did in the beginning of time, where the vice president was the other guy who ran? So one
The guy that came in second place?
Correct. So this time around, it would have been Joe Biden president, Donald Trump vice president.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Why not?
Let's do it.
I like that better because then both parties are represented in the White House.
Let's do it.
If both parties are represented in Congress, both parties should be represented in the White House. So why not?
Sure. Why not?
Anything's got to be better than what we keep doing over and 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 watching it fail.
But you know what? There's a little leakage from our politics. It's leaked to NASCAR.
Yeah.
Like a dirty pair of underwear.
It's called greed. That's all it is.
Leakage.
It's just greed. Greed. That's it.
It's called burnout spots in your underwear.
It's called greed.
It is.
All right. That's all I got.
Oh, that was our show close, I guess.
You don't have anything else?
Maybe we should thank everyone.
Yeah. Thanks everyone who follows us, shares our show on social media, and listens each week. Check us out on Spotify and rate us.
Hold it. Is rate us a new social media?
No, you rate us on Spotify.
Let's start a social media called Rate Us.
Rate us. Rate us. I know I don't like that.
Okay.
Rate us that just sounds wrong.
Sounds like Norman Reedus from that zombie show.
He didn't have no shoes on. Next thing you know, he done contracted Rateus.
Oh, no, not Rateus. He caught that from going to a NASCAR race.
He got the Rateus. A little bit of penicillin to cure that right
because them
out.
Porta-Johns are right next to the cafeteria.
They told you not to rub your wiener on that Porta-John wall, Jimmy. You do that, you get that Rateus every time. You won't even be able to get rid of that Rateus with the penicillin or the lava soap.
Oh, no.
He used 3 canisters of Comet, and he still has the Rateus.
He gave the Rateus to his wife, who took it to church and spread it around.
Everybody got the Rateus after communion.
Oh, my goodness.
You can't have that Rateus anywhere. It just gets all over everybody.
Oh, my goodness.
You better rinse your hands off, boy. You're going to get that Rateus.
I got Rateus on my car, and it's going to poke out a little hole.
That's your Rateus-ator leaking.
Rateus-ator.
All right. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Subscribe on Apple and leave us a review. And check out our website. We're racecarbackwards.com. Thanks, everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a great week.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Race Car Spelled Backwards.